and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we have a colossal midweek clash in La Liga. And you know what, even though Barca, they have struggled of late, it hasn't been easy. We're just coming off the back of a really difficult week emotionally for all of us, and yet I am excited about this game. I am looking forward to facing Atletico Madrid at the Camp Nou. This is the first big game back at our proper home, under the lights, midweek clash. This is what it's all about, and this is a golden opportunity to get some credit back, to get some more credit in the bank for this team. So we're going to be talking about what we can expect from Barca, from Atletico Madrid as well. They are on great form right now, and we are going to be discussing the lineup. We're going to be discussing the match prediction, and we're going to be talking as well about how you are feeling coming into this game. All of that is on the way. Get yourselves ready, and let's do this. Because indeed, guys, at 9 p.m. local time, live from the Spotify Camp Nou, we will be witnessing Barca walking out onto the field against Atletico Madrid in what is a massive game here at the very top of La Liga. These are two teams who have title aspirations, and what I would say about Barca is right now, the win over Alaves, it was a bit sketchy, it was unconvincing, but you know what, even if we'd won that game comfortably, nobody really would have thought anything. It wouldn't have been like, oh, well, now the Chelsea game doesn't exist because we've beaten Alaves. But what you'd say about this Atleti game is, if we go into this game, play well, play with conviction, play with some control, and dominate this kind of encounter and win, that does go a long way. This is a big game. Atletico Madrid are a good team. They are on good form. We're going to be talking about that. But this can do a lot for our confidence right now. We can just restore a bit of pride, and quickly. I think it's important here, after that Chelsea game, not even 1 week on, let's strike back quickly. Don't give everything a chance here to become really, really negative. Don't let bad habits start to seep in. Let's nip this in the bud. Let's get a big win in a big game, and let's get back to doing the good things now, with a lineup as well that we would expect to be one of our strongest of the season. Because the big news over the course of the weekend is that Barca are top of the league. We're top of the league. How did that happen? Wait, what? Real Madrid dropped more points in La Liga. Their third successive game in which they've drawn. Last night they did it against relegation-threatened Girona. The pressure now on Xabi Alonso, it is reaching breaking point. But personally speaking, I think they should keep him. Keep him on. Give him time. Come on, Real Madrid. Just, wait for all of this to blow over, because they have dropped there in the league table. And all of this means that, Barca, they are at the summit right now. And can you imagine, by the way, if we were actually playing well? Can you imagine that we were in good form? Maybe how far away we'd be so far at the top of La Liga. But looking at that table, I've got to be honest with you guys, in terms of Barca, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid as well, I think they should all be taking a look at themselves right now. I don't think any of those teams have been anywhere near their best. I think they've all been inconsistent. They've all had patches of this season whereby they really failed to perform. But can we also talk about Villarreal? Because right now, we play them actually in a few games' time, so this is all very relevant too. After 14 games, nearly halfway in the season here, they are amongst the title race. They are among the contenders right now. And aside from when they decided to rest their entire team against Real Madrid before an international break, aside from that, they have been brilliant in La Liga. But what's also strange about them is that, in contrast to their league form, they've been woeful in the Champions League. Villarreal are 34th in the league phase in the UCL right now. After 5 games, they have just 1 point to their name. So I would say right now, looking at La Liga as a whole, looking at the top, the title race, it's weird. It's all very strange. And at this point, anything can happen. But in terms of Hansi Flick's thoughts ahead of such a crucial game here for his team, we spoke in detail yesterday about his reaction after the Alaves game there, just sitting on the sidelines, sitting on the bench there, just thinking, what am I seeing? What's happening with the team? How do we get back to what we were doing and looking so good doing? And it's interesting today, Flick's press conference, I would say, was quite a bit shorter than usual. He didn't really seem to want to elaborate on too much today. It was almost like, let's just get the job done. Let's just get this over with and move on to the game. I don't think he really wants to be surrounded by the noise right now. And that's a good thing, by the way. Don't get wrapped up in the media intensity at Barca, all of the speculation, all the noise surrounding the team. Let's just keep focusing on the football here, what we need to do on the field. And Flick was asked, is the pressure higher now? Are you starting to feel the pressure as a Barcelona coach? And I thought Flick's answer was a good one. He said it's actually the same as last year. He said, I don't feel any extra pressure now compared to when I was coaching Barca last season. He said, but at the start of this season, I did tell my players it's going to be tougher. Everybody wants to beat the champions. We are the leaders, teams come into games against us wanting to win. But he said, we're not at our best yet. We must take steps now to reach the point of playing our best football. So Flick again, still with belief in this team, but still with an understanding that we do need to do more, because he was then asked about those problems, about those, tricky situations in games, what's going wrong right now for Barca, what needs to be corrected, what's missing in this team right now. And Flick did admit, we need more control. We are lacking in control. He said we have the quality and we want to see that. That seems to be Flick's overriding emotion right now. He can see the quality, he can see the potential, and in training, but we need to see it out there on the field. He said we make too many mistakes. We lose too many balls. Very, very easy possession we give up. He said usually we have the quality to control matches. And that's what we've been missing lately. And you would just hope in this game, against a team like Atletico Madrid, Barca, they can get on the ball. They've got the ability to get on the ball and start to orchestrate this game and control it. But it will come down to those midfield battles. And you do feel as though, compared to the weekend, compared as well to the Chelsea game, Barca's midfield in this game, it should be a lot better with the players we have returning and the quality that will be on show. But in terms of our opponents in this one, Atletico Madrid, we shouldn't underestimate them. We really shouldn't. They are a top team. They are in very good form. They can cause Barca problems. We've seen that over the past season or so. They do have the potential and the ability to make that happen. And I would just say about Atleti, since they got absolutely demolished by a Premier League team in the Champions League. Who knows what that feels like? I don't. I'm not crying in the corner. But yeah, since Atleti got smashed by Arsenal, they have actually responded brilliantly in terms of their recent games. They now have 7 wins in a row. They've never conceded more than 1 goal in any of those games. And they also scored in the 93rd minute against Inter in the Champions League. That was a really big win and a morale-boosting win for them. And it was quite interesting, actually, at the weekend. They won comfortably against Real Oviedo. But in that game, they set a record. They became the first team in La Liga history to score the first goal in every single one of their opening 14 games of the season. So every single game that Atleti have played in the league, they've struck first. They've been the ones to come out the blocks and strike first in the game. And what I would say here, it's quite a simple tactic. What Barca need to do, score first against them. Let's flip the script here. Let's actually put Atleti in a really unfamiliar situation. If you put them on the back foot, if you strike early against them, their whole game plan is out the window. They are not used to being in that situation in the league this season. So Barca starting this game well, starting this game with intensity, with energy, with real effort, that is essential. Now, in terms of our head-to-head record against Atletico Madrid, I would say certainly here at home, we are very strong against Atleti. And over the years, we have also been really strong, actually, up against Diego Simeone. The results have been very favourable on our side. Now, the good news is, the last 19 games that we've played Atleti at home, we have only lost 1 of them. The bad news is, that was actually at home last season. That was the most recent one in terms of La Liga meetings at home. But of course, that was at Montjuic. It's not really the same, is it? We're at the Camp Nou now. Things are going to be a little bit different. And that was a game, let's remember here, it was just before Christmas. We should never have lost that game. We threw it away. Remember Sorlot in the last moments of the game there, scoring 96th minute winner. And it was actually interesting because if you look back at that period towards the end of last year, even then, things are a bit turbulent. Barca lost sight a little bit. They were going through a little bit of a rough patch. There was a few questions about Hansi Flick's system then as well. So even last season, we had our bad moments, but we did respond. We were able to bounce back and overcome those doubts. That's what we have to do now. Now, in terms of the team news ahead of this game, I think it's very, very interesting to hear in the media that Hansi Flick, he is really considering starting Gerard Martin in this game here. Against Atletico Madrid, that would be an absolutely massive game for Gerard Martin to play. And at centre-back here, because obviously Flick has been always a big admirer of Martin. He sees something in him, he's always believed in him, and he's improved him a great deal during his time at the club. And recently, he's been very impressed with his performances at centre-back, what he can give the team with and without the ball, and that is why he could start in this one. And this all goes back to Hansi Flick right now, being desperate, by the way, for a left-footed centre-back. After the exit of Inigo Martinez, where we have to keep talking about this, guys, because we can't forget, we've not only missed out on what Inigo did with the offside trap, with the organisation and the leadership that he brought to our backline, the defensive ability that he had, not only all of that, but we also miss out in terms of Inigo Martinez's distribution. Having that right balance at the back there, whereby you've got a left-footed centre-back, you've got Kubasi over on his right side, and with Inigo having the ability to step out, to play, to really distribute from the back, and being able to step up the pitch and into midfield at times, Inigo was so good at that. Yeah, we lost all of that in the summer. We lost all of that ability, and it makes it even more scandalous, and it still makes me angry, by the way, when you think that the board didn't bother to replace him. They thought, you know what, we've lost Inigo Martinez, we gave him away for free, by the way, and we just didn't replace him. One of our most important players, one of our most essential pieces. It was naive. It was downright stupid not to think you needed to replace him. And I think right now we're talking about the players, letting Flick down. We're talking about the concern about those. For me, the board let him down. The board let Flick down in the summer. We had opportunities to build upon what he started. We had opportunities there to strengthen our squad. We failed to do it. And now we're all playing catch-up. However, guys, in terms of the starting lineup here, things are actually getting more positive. We are actually feeling quite good about the options that we have. Players coming back, players returning from injury. Joan Garcia is going to start in goal. Hansi Flick in his press conference today, he was glowing in his report about Joan Garcia. Just said he's a phenomenal talent. He is going to help us for so many years here at the club. And I do just wonder right back in this one, will Koundé come back in? Obviously, he came on at the weekend. Eric Garcia got such a whack to his face there. He's having to play with that mask. It can't be comfortable. So I just wonder here, could Koundé return? I think Kubasi will play over to the right. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Gerard Martin alongside him there as the left centre-back. That is going to be a massive game for him. Absolutely huge. The Atletico Madrid, they got great attacking players. They're going to come at you from all different angles. So Gerard Martin is going to have to be at his best. And it is a massive, massive test for him. Balde then will play, of course, as the left back. He's playing a lot of minutes right now. But in midfield, guys, it's great. It is fantastic here. Pedri, he can start. Flick confirmed it in his press conference today. He said, Pedri, he is ready. He can start this game. And I believe that he will, alongside Frenkie de Jong. We didn't have either of those players at the weekend. We only had one of them against Chelsea. This is an opportunity to build our midfield again. Have that good core of the team that you can build from, that you can start to control and dictate games with. Those two are capable of anything. Now, just ahead of them, you've got Dani Olmo. And what I want to see here from Olmo, continue what you started. Continue what you started against Alaves, whereby you were very good, very influential in the game, operating in all the right spaces, making the right runs, linking up so well with Rafinha. You can't overstate how important Rafinha's return is for Dani Olmo. He creates space for him. He supplies him with great passes. They understand each other so well. So Olmo here has a great chance in a big game. I want to see a big game performance from him. He's brought in for a lot of money. We've been critical of him, over the past few months in terms of his form. What would really shut everybody up, including me? big game performance. Step up in a game like this and show us the quality that we know that you have. Then, of course, on the right-hand side, it's going to be Lamine Yamal. On the left, it's going to be Rafinha. Those two in a game like this, you just feel so comfortable, don't you? You just feel so happy that you can count upon those two players in the wider areas. You feel like they're going to start linking up again. Now they're back on the pitch together again. Now they're going to be able to play plenty of minutes together. We are going to see that combination flourish once again, assisting each other, linking up. It is going to be absolute poetry. And then leading the line for me, it would be Robert Lewandowski. It's not out of the question that Ferran Torres could play, but again, in a big game, there's going to be chances, there's going to be big opportunities. I would probably opt for Lewandowski there to be on the end of them. And I would just say right here, guys, I do feel bad for Marcus Rashford. You know, at the end of the day, when we had injuries, when we had problems, he was the guy stepping up. You know, he was the guy scoring goals, creating them as well. He's been so good during his loan spell at the club so far, and he has just fallen out of the lineup a little bit. He had that illness, which didn't really help him in terms of momentum. He missed out in midweek against Chelsea, didn't really play from the start against Alaves. So for him, it's been a bit tricky, but he will get his chance again. There will still be big opportunities here for Marcus Rashford. And in terms of this lineup, can we just celebrate for a moment? Can we celebrate seeing potentially one of our best lineups of the season here? We have players back, we have players fit, we have key players out on the pitch. This is a moment to strike, and this is a moment to show our best level. But indeed, guys, we must come on to the feelings. We must come on to the predictions ahead of this game, because I asked you all there in my community section, how are you feeling? I thought it was a different kind of approach. You know, sometimes I ask you what the score's going to be. You know, are Barca going to win? Are they not? But I just thought, you know what? How is everyone feeling? And I've got to say, really interesting results here, because a lot of people, they're excited. You know, like me, I do get excited about big games. It just happens. You know, even though we were crushed in our last big game, I want to bounce back. You know, I want to have that positive outlook that, okay, we are going to do something here. There are people that are cautiously optimistic. I would understand that here. I want to think good things. I want to believe. But at the same time, you know, let's just keep it calm here. Let's just take it easy. Let's see what the team do. There are people that are concerned, understandably, but not too many that are very worried. And that's a good thing. Let's have belief. Let's have confidence in the team. And I'm going to go here with a Barca win. I am going to go Barca 2, Atletico Madrid 1. I do think it's going to be tight. I think that first goal, it's going to be massive in this game because Atletico are so used to scoring it. Barca here need a quick start. They need to get the fans on side. So Barca to score first. Rafinha to get that goal. The man for the big occasion. He can score big goals. He proved that last season. Can he do it again here, guys? Let me know your predictions down below. How are you feeling? What is going to happen on Tuesday at the Camp Nou? And I will see you very soon. And let's hope for a special night. Thank you indeed for the great support. But until next time, as always, Vesca, El Barça.